Uh, Hi all, and welcome to today's session. So in today's session we are going to talk about uh, one of the very uh, commonly used uh, network orchestrator in various networking production environment, which is popularly known as Cisco DNAC or DNA Center, which has been renamed a couple of years back to Cisco Catalyst Center, and we are going to automate Cisco DNAC today. I already have the script created, but we are going to just talk about it and how it gets automated. So you can see currently the environment has already been created from my side, and we have also created the script, right? But we are going to talk about the script in detail. From the Cisco Catalyst Center, we are basically going to fetch the information about all the network devices. We are going to talk about the script in detail, but let's first understand what we are going to do in today's session. So uh, the intent over here is to fetch all the values for all the network devices, right? So the API that we are going to access is the get device list, and the get device list is basically responsible to return the list of the network devices based on filter criteria such as management IP address, MAC address, hostname, etc. And we can use the dot star in any value to conduct a wildcard search, right? Now once we talk about this, so let me log into the Cisco Catalyst Center and showcase to you, how the dashboard looks like. It's very uh, kind of a prettified, or you would say a pretty dashboard where you would be able to see all kinds of information, including the AI insights also. So Cisco DNAC is basically, you can say, a network orchestration tool which is used to perform tasks such as iOS upgrades, fetching the compliance report, uploading the certificates to any of the devices, software image upgrades, which is basically the OS upgrades, do the health checks, network snapshots, trends and insights, critical issues for the reporting purpose, right? Vulnerability assessment, and talk about the software image updates that has happened and the license devices that it is having, right? So having said that, this is basically the dashboard, and let's quickly go to the script which we have created over here to fetch all the network data. Uh, so as you are aware that basically we have been provided with a particular username and password, so we have updated that particular username and password in our environment file along with the base URL. So the base URL would be this particular base URL, which is basically the sandboxdnac.cisco.com, right? And this sandboxdnac will be having a username and password to access the device with which we just accessed, right? Now this is just not enough to log into the particular DNAC, right? This is one of the ways to log into the DNAC and then generate uh, a value which is a binary value which we call as a token, right? So this is basically uh, once you log into the device, so in order to run that particular API we have to call a token which is called as an authentication token. By providing in the response, we have to post the URL, right? So the URL will be the base URL, which is basically your sandboxdnac.cisco.com, followed by these values, right? So you must be wondering where these values are coming from. So basically the values have to be fetched from the Cisco DevNet documentation, where in order to log into a particular DNAC device, you'll have to uh, take this value and then log in through the authentication based token. So based on the username password, it will generate a token, right? If you want to see the token is uh, value which helps us to run different kinds of commands on the Cisco DNAC. So if you want to run it, you can do the run, right? So let me first explain the code, and then we will try to get we'll try to get the output by running this particular script, right? So you can see that all the modules have been imported. The main modules are the request and the JSON, because the data we are getting is in a JSON format, and then we are running the RESTful APIs. And for the RESTful APIs in the past, as we have seen, we'll have to use the request module. The .env of course is to hide your credentials, your base URLs and the usernames, which we have hidden successfully, right? So once that is done, let me go to the main part of the script, right? So the main part of the script is first we have to create a token, right? And for the token, you can see that we have gone into a particular function which is called as a get token, right? So once we go to the get token, we reach out over here and we access the URL to generate the token, right? And the token will be generated using the response which will be equal to the request.get request.post. In the post, we have to provide the Cisco DNAC with the URL where we want to get the token, the authentication, that is username and password, and suppress any SSL values or SSL certificate errors that might come or warnings that might come. We want to suppress it. Then once this has been provided, you have to get the status, right? So if you want to get the status, you'll have to do response dot raise for status, right? So basically raise for status is when you get so raise for status is used for ports 200 and 201, right? So this value will be get. Then you will get the response for the token response, whether it was successful or it failed. This is the tokens URL which you get tokens URL which you get from the token, which you get Cisco DNAC developer API guide, right? Now once this is done, you'll finally get the token, and this is the token value. You can even print it and have a look, how does a token look like. So we can print the value over here. So I'll just do one thing, I'll do a print and then I'll copy this value and display it over here, right? So now we are printing the value of the token and then we are returning this value of the token. So now once the value of the token has been returned, right, where does it go? So come back to the main function. Okay, and this is the where the devices variable, where you go to the another function which is called as get devices to get the value, various parameter values of devices that are part of Cisco DNAC, right? Now this will tell you about the total devices found. It's already written over there. This is for the prettification, and then you can see we have put up a lot of print statements where we are getting different information like hostname, management IP, platform, version, serial number, role of the device, and the reachability status of the device, right? After that we have put up the exception errors, right? And let me close the other one, and then finally we are calling the main, right? So if I go to the get devices, you can see that the base URL is the same, but now the other URL has been there, which is basically intent API v1 network devices, which is basically the same URL that we are talking about. If I want, I can copy the script also from here and I can run directly the script, but that is not the intent. We have to create the script and then we have to run the script accordingly, right? So in this particular DNA intent API v1, you can see that the token which we created on this above function get token, we are using that particular token because this token was passed as an argument, right? Now in the response we are doing a get, where we are basically fetching the value of the devices, right? So here is this is where we get the value of devices that are part of DNAC, right? Here you are passing token as an argument, right? And the header will be headers, right? So the value we are getting over here is the headers. Verify again. If you want to suppress any SSL warnings or issues, then you have to do verify equals to false and avoid some errors. Raise for status is again, where the response, whether it was successful or not, and it will provide you the value either 200 or 201, right? So you can, if you want, you can see the value also, right? So you can do this print again, response, you can do the print response, and then you can also print the value for JSONified response that you are getting, right? So paste it over here and then return it, right? So once you return it, it basically takes it in this format and then it displays it, right? So let's run this out. Right, so you can see that the output has been squeezed. But if I open this, you can see that this was the JSONified. You can see that first we got the response for creating the token, then you can see that there is a second value of the token, right? Now you can see another response, while we were getting the devices in the get devices function, and also you can see that the output is in a JSONified format. So there could be multiple values that we could have fetched, right? But we ended up fetching only specific values like hostname, management IP, platform, version. So right now you can see that there are 4 devices inside the system, and these are the particular names, the IP addresses, the platforms, the versions, and the serial numbers, and whether these devices are reachable or not. All that information has been collected from the above JSON file and has been displayed in a prettified format to you, right? So the intent over here is to not just get the device list, but also to understand that the devices or the network devices or network orchestrator can with the right intent we can automate these particular devices, whether it be Cisco DNAC, which is Cisco Catalyst Center, Cisco Catalyst, like we saw in the other videos, a legacy device, or on top of the rack switch like Cat 9K or Nexus 9K. All these devices can be automated either through SSH or CLI. That is the intent, and you just have to refer the Cisco DevNet documentation or the Catalyst Center documentation, where you will be able to see the corresponding APIs, and based on the APIs you will be able to catch the replies, right? So that hope you would have liked this video for the Cisco Catalyst Center and how to fetch the network devices information from there. I hope you liked this video, and I will see you in the next video with something more interesting. Thank you so much.